The background of the book is my mother's funeral. It talks about how we prepared, how we came to grips with her death while we were coming to grips with her life. Really, the story is about my journey of coming from a position of anger and hate to a position of love and understanding. When I was young, I didn't realize that my life was any different than anyone else's. When I got into high school and I started talking to my friends and meeting their mothers, I realized that there was something different. And then I felt sadness that it was so different. Probably when I was 4, after my grandma's death, was the first time I remember thinking, where did my mom go? Because this is not her. She didn't care anymore. She stopped doing my hair, and she stopped talking to me. She just quit life almost, and I think that event just threw everything into chaos. And I remember just thinking, where is my mom gone? Because she's not here anymore. My mother, she got in a car accident, and during that accident, she was taken to the hospital by ambulance, and her violent personality came out, and so they put her in the psychiatric ward, and she was diagnosed with multiple personalities. That was the first time. Because my dad was a mechanic, we didn't have the insurance that was necessary to help her treatment, so that even though she had a violent personality, they were going to have to release her back into our care. And so they gave her to us. They gave us information of what it was. They told us what it was, but they said that there was nothing that they could do to help us, and we were off on our own. At first, she denied it. She said that the doctors didn't know what they were talking about. Then she understood. We would explain to her things that she said or things that she did. I interviewed her once for a college class, for a journalism class, and she said, I know that they're there, but I try not to pay attention to them. My mom really believed that what happens in this house stays in this house. And as I mentioned, I was really angry. And so my mom made me go and see the school counselor in junior high. When I went and talked to the counselor for the first time, she came and said, what did you say? She didn't want to admit that she wasn't perfect, especially when she was trying so hard to keep up appearances. My initial reason for going on a mission was so that I could get away, so that I could leave. It was my way out. But once I got there, it changed my life. I wasn't getting letters from home, and it was very, very difficult for me. As you can imagine, I had mothered all of my siblings and my mother. My older sister was out on a mission. My younger sister was married, and so all that was left were my 3 younger siblings, and I was very scared that something was going to happen and that they weren't being taken care of. So I asked my mission president if I could call home, and he said, "You're just homesick." And I said, "No, really, I'm not. I need to talk to my family." And he said, "Well, tell me about your family." And it was really the first time I felt that I could tell anybody. He was the first person that I told about my mother, and it was such a release. And I remember sitting there and just sobbing the whole time, talking to him and trying to explain to him my feelings and my thoughts. And after I was all done, he said, "It seems to me that your mother was your savior." And I couldn't believe that he would say that. I just thought in my mind, did you just hear what I told you? Everything about my mother, all of these horrible things that she's done. How could you put savior in the same sentence with my mother? And he said, someone who's been abused as much as your mother has usually becomes a perpetuator themselves, and the cycle continues. And he said, your mother stopped it. She built a bridge for you so that, he said, I have no doubt that your childhood was difficult, but your memories are nothing compared to what your mother had to experience on a daily basis. And because she built a bridge and stopped the cycle of abuse, your childhood is better than hers, and your children's childhood will be better than yours, and the cycle will heal. And that will happen all because your mother stopped it, and she didn't perpetuate the cycle. And so he was the first person that helped me see my mother in a different light. Mental illness has such a stigma to it that when people learn that it's a part of your life, they start distancing themselves because, one, they don't understand it, and two, they're afraid of it. And in doing that, they alienate those who really, really, truly need their help. And because of my mom's behavior, there was a lot of people that tried to stay away from us. There's several things that I hope people take away from this book. I hope it helps them in the grieving process of their own loved ones. I want them to take away the love of God, that despite the fact that we feel that we're alone, that we never are. I want people who don't have mental illness in their family and are looking out at it from an outside perspective, that those people are children of God and that He loves them, and as such, we should love them too.